Welcome to another MBS Highway live monthly webinar. I'm one of your hosts, Megan Anderson, along with Dan and Barry Habib. And today we have some special guests with us. We have returning guest Carl White, who is the founder and CEO of Mortgage Marketing Animals, a successful mortgage marketing training program. Carl is also a branch manager of one of the top mortgage branches in America and the host of the #1 podcast for loan originators, Loan Officer Freedom. And also joining us is Chris Johnstone, the CEO of Connection Incorporated, an AI-powered mortgage marketing solution. And today, this powerhouse, is going to talk to us about AI and how we can use ChatGPT and Google to get more leads and close more loans. I am a huge fan of you two. Thank you guys for doing this call, and everybody join me in welcoming Chris Johnstone and Carl White.
And if you get confused about which is which, one of us is handsome, one of us is smart, and that's an easy way to do it. So, all right, great. Hey, great to be here. And you're right. Joe said Carl's the handsome one. See, he already knew. He already knew. So, hey, great to see everybody here. And first of all, boy, we'd love it when you guys join us on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. We do that every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's the largest daily gathering of loan officers in the world today, except for that small group in Finland that we were just talking about in the green room. So, and you can just find us at loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. So, all right. So we're gonna do 4 things here today. So number one, we're going to show you some really, really, really cool stuff. Dan, the technology that we're seeing in today's market. I mean, I know you guys have been using technology forever, and that's part of the secret weapon that MBS Highway has is using technology. All right, we get all that, but there's some really cool stuff coming up on the horizon. So we're going to show you some of these things. Number 2, we're going to talk about SEO. And we're going to show you why it is such a big deal. So a lot of us, myself included, have kind of put that on the back burner because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. So we're going to show you some shocking facts on that's really changed everything for us. Number 3, we're going to actually show you how to do it, right? So we're actually going to show you how to do it, and we're going to give you a little download thing that you can print out as a guide sheet for it. And then number 4. We're going to do a cheesy, high-pressure sales pitch at the end to offer to do it for you. You know, I'm just kidding about that part. But anyway, so let's jump into it. Chris, you want to run the PowerPoint from yours? Is that where you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Carl, just for those that might not be familiar, SEO, talking about a search engine optimization, correct?
Yeah, search engine optimization, where people are going on to Google and another little secret site that I think will blow your mind. Okay. And I think when you see on the closing ratio of those leads are just jaw-dropping. So we're going to show you a couple case studies. And so this will be really, really, really good stuff. This will be a very good use of your time. Yeah, if you're multitasking, you're going to probably want to bring your vision right to this screen that's talking, because we're going to show you some really, really, really cool stuff. So, all right, Chris, why don't you take it away a little bit?
Okay, awesome. Right on. Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Johnstone, and Megan, Dan, Barry, Carl, thanks for having me. It's fantastic to be here, and let's get to it. The value's in the content, and I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind today. So this is the future of consumer direct marketing in the mortgage industry, and it is all about artificial intelligence. So this is a headline from Adweek. Google's generative AI search is powering 84% of queries, and this little subject line down here is what Google's talking about a lot. 20 to 36% of total organic traffic is going to go to artificial intelligence. And what that means is that within the next 2 to 3 years, 40% of all the searches that happen on Google today are going to be happening inside an artificial intelligence assistant like ChatGPT or Gemini or one of these incredible new devices that are coming out. So think about all of the customers and traffic that are happening on Google right now. in the next 5 years, like if you've got a 5-year window on your mortgage business and you're looking at how do I go consumer direct and get the highest quality leads that close at the highest amount, roughly half of all of the traffic that's happening on Google, I believe more, is going to be happening on these personal AI assistants. And nobody in the mortgage industry is paying attention to this or getting in front of this massive trend. Think about half of the traffic that's going to some of these online rate sites and online aggregators. All of that is up for grabs. And it's up for grabs in your local market. Because as we watch this technology evolve, it's going local. They want to give local customers to local mortgage businesses. So when you look at the shift in technology, Google's coming out and saying, hey, 40% of search traffic is going to go to this new technology. Smartphones are becoming passé. Like our smartphones, the way that we use them today because of artificial intelligence is totally going to transform because personal AI assistants are here. So over here on the left-hand side, this is a device that's called the Rabbit R1. You can go Google it. It's $199. What it has is a button on the side of it. You press it, you talk into it and tell it what you want. It already has all of the login information for all of the applications that you currently have on your phone. So I'll give you an example. When you talk into one of these personal AI assistants, let's say you want to book a vacation. Well, right now, you've got to go to your travel app and find your flights. You've got to go to Google or a hotel app to find a hotel, read the ratings and reviews, pick the ones that you want. Then to get to the airport, to get on the flight, you've got to go onto your Uber app, order your Uber takes you to the airport. These AI assistants, you just say, hey, I'm going to Clearwater, Florida. Here are the dates, book my trip. Books the hotel, books the airline, and pre-orders your Uber to your door to get you to the airport on time, all in one device based off one prompt. So this is where the future is going. So the Rabbit R1 is this one on the left. On the right, this is called the AI Pin, and it's from a company called Humane. And this thing actually projects a screen in front of you that only you can see. So you hold up your hand, and your hand is actually the screen while you're talking to this device that you wear. And you all saw last week, I'm hoping, that ChatGPT has just gone through their latest upgrade. So GPT-4o is now out, and it is able to interact with you based on your camera, your voice, and text. So now when you have a problem, you can just open the AI app on your phone, ChatGPT, hit the little headphone icon and talk to your AI just like it's a personal assistant. And that thing is amazing at helping out. So we're going through this transition exceptionally fast. Bill Gates has come out and said that AI agents will replace search and shopping sites. Again, in the next 5 years, if you're going to go buy something, you're just going to ask your AI assistant, hey, who's got the best price online for XYZ product? It will look at Amazon. It will look at Walmart.com. It will look at all these websites, find the product that you want, find the lowest price and the best shipping, and get it to your house. This is coming. Now, there was also another massive announcement that came out that hasn't actually gotten a lot of press. So Sam Altman, this gentleman here on the left-hand side, is one of the founders of OpenAI and the makers of ChatGPT. And this gentleman over here on the right-hand side is Johnny Ive. And he is the designer of the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and AirPods, and iOS 7 to iOS 13. Like one of the greatest product designers in our world. And these two have teamed up and started a company to create the next personal AI assistant device. So this is going to be powered by ChatGPT and the head designer for all of the Apple products that have taken us by storm. And if you look at iPhone sales from when the iPhone was released in 2009, I mean, Carl, do you remember the first time you saw an iPhone?
I do remember. Actually, I was at one of our friends Perry's events and I saw one and I thought, wait a minute. You don't have to text something. You don't have to hit one number 3 times to go A, B, C, C, D, E, F, F. It just went straight there. So it was crazy.
So we are about to live through that moment again. This is like the shift from sending faxes to sending emails. We're going through the movement of moving from an iPhone where you have to manually interact with all your apps to now this speakable device that's going to know you and your preferences and how you like things done to be your assistant rather than a piece of technology. And if you look at iPhone sales, they're selling $22 billion a month worth of iPhones right now. And this is going to disrupt that market.
And I think the thing, the thing you have to understand is with this AI now, like, I don't know if you guys know it or not, or if you've done it, I'm sure some of you have, is that like when you go into ChatGPT now or Gemini, like if I want to find out like where's a good shoe store in town, if I type that in on Google, up pops this page with usually like 30,000 suggestions. When we pick the first, 10 or so, when we find one that kind of catches our eye, and then we look into it and, come to find out that was an ad from a company that's in a different area I'm not even in. And like, you have to do your searching for it. With ChatGPT, when you go in there and say, where's the best shoe store? It doesn't give me like 15 answers. It doesn't show me where to find the answer. It gives me the answer. And I'm telling you, that's the game changer on this. And they were saying, Google was saying 40% of all search engine was going to go away from Google onto the AI in the next couple of years. I think it's going to, Chris, I have not, other than for my own personal demonstration purposes, I haven't Googled anything in months now that I just click the button, I ask the question verbally, and it spits the question. I can be riding my bike and I'll say, I name mine Hermie. Hey, Hermie, I'm thinking about going on vacation here next week. Where should Maria and I go? And just having a live, real-time converse, no thumbs, no typing, no anything, a real live conversation with this thing going down the road, making suggestions about where I should go, or in this case that you're getting ready to tell us about, tell me who I should get my mortgage from. Tell us about this.
Yeah. So, well, we'll talk a little bit about the evolution of search in a little bit, but the end point is that we're now helping to rank people in the mortgage industry inside AI engines. So Gemini and ChatGPT, so that you get recommended as the loan officer when somebody goes to a GPT and says, who's the best mortgage lender in this particular instance? It was Tampa, Florida. So we've got a client that we've done all of the Google optimization for to get them ranked on the front page in the map placement on Google. And they were gracious enough to be part of our beta program where we started to see if we could figure out what the AI was looking for in order to recommend a business. And we started to reverse engineer that. They had an out-of-state buyer who went on to ChatGPT and said, who's the best mortgage lender in Tampa, Florida? They got recommended by the AI with their ratings and reviews, got a phone call, and funded that deal. So that is a fund closed transaction and the first to our knowledge that have come directly from ChatGPT. So this is already here, it's already happening. So,
I'll take this one, Chris. So some of you have seen this. I've been showing this for probably about the last 9, 10, 11 months, something like that. Because when this came out, it changed a lot of things doing. So I think most of you know I'm actually a branch manager, one of the largest branches in the nation. And when this came out, a lot of the things we did, my own personal mortgage branch, we changed a lot of things. So this was a large study that was done where it says, how did you find your loan officer? And this is with all loans. So this is refinances, this is purchases, this is all, complete loans. And a couple of things are kind of shocking on it. The first thing that we look at is if you kind of look in the bottom right-hand corner, like around like 4 o'clock or so, you see social media. Megan, that shocked me. I mean, I'm not over exaggerating when I say it shocked me that social media, only 3% of loan officers found their loan officer off of social media. I thought it was going to be like 25, 30, 35, somewhere in that neighborhood. and that it ended up being 3%. Now, I'm not saying not to do social media. I do social media. I think it's a real important thing to do, but I think, you have to pay attention in the right magnitude on things. And so so I'm not saying not to do it. I think social media is critically important, right? We teach it in our training. Megan, I know y'all have some good stuff and you have good people that come on and share about social media. It's not to be ignored, but it's to be put in perspective. If we look at the next one up, it's online search, 11%. Might not sound like a big number until you realize it's 375% more than social media. So if we were to do a poll here and say, how many of you have done social media for your mortgage business to promote it, like a posting, an ad, something like that, my guess is virtually everybody would raise their hand. Like when I do this on live events, 98% of the people, I can have a room of 500 people, almost all of them will raise their hand. Yes, I've done social media. If we say, all right, the online search, which is 375% higher, how many of you have done that? It's usually about 3%, 4% of the room, like almost no, and myself included. I didn't focus on it either until I saw this. Bank is the next one, 14%. Doesn't mean they did their loan at the bank. It means that they found their loan officer at the bank. Maybe their maybe it was a credit union that doesn't do mortgage. Maybe it was a credit union that doesn't do VA or FHA. And so some of them was done at that bank, but some of them they might have referred to somebody. Friends and family, 27%, i.e. past database. That's why we market to our past database. Again, 900% higher than social media. And of course, the elephant in the room at 1,000% higher than social media is a real estate agent. So the point in this slide is we have to focus our attention on what actually moves the needle. And all these things move the needle at a certain degree, but we want to make sure that we're paying the appropriate amount of attention to the appropriate platform. And the online search certainly warrants a second look on it that many of us, and myself included, up until about 9-10 months ago when I saw this thing, I honestly, I was getting SEO, I guess, just organically, but actually putting concerted effort into it, I was just totally ignoring it. I know you got a couple examples here, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. So the take home for this slide here is that there's really three ways to grow the mortgage business, as you just saw on the slide. You got your past customer database, you've got your referral partners, and then you've got marketing and advertising. And marketing and advertising has always been fragmented in, hey, you've got to do social over here, you've got to do this over here. And in today's world, it's all coming together. And the places that you need to be ranked are on Google search. And so Google search first, GPT search second, and then social media and people finding out about you on social third. And the reason why is because there's this thing called the 0 moment of truth with Google. And it is the moment in time when somebody goes from researching a topic to purchasing a product. Somebody who's researching something isn't going to buy today, and they're not going to make a purchase decision. And most oftentimes, they're not actually going to get on the phone and talk to somebody or get into any type of situation where they think they might actually have to purchase something. Whereas as soon as they pass that 0 moment of truth and they are ready to purchase, like we are going to buy that house, we are going to do that refinance, we do need a loan officer, then they go into search mode, right? And so when they go into search mode, you have to be there at the top of the Google search and at the top of the AI search. And then if they end up checking you out on Facebook or Instagram or any of those other things, you've got to have content there, but it's not the primary. Because getting customers from those engines, it's very difficult to find somebody on social media who's at the 0 moment of truth. But when you're advertising on search or you're getting ranked organically on search, that's the only people that are finding you, is people that are actually searching. So if you take a look at conversion rates, we see that, because conversion is all about the lead source. You've got to speed to lead, all of that wonderful stuff. But if the lead can't qualify for a mortgage, there's no amount of follow-up and there's no amount of speed to lead that's going to increase your conversion on your numbers. So if we look at online leads, which could be Facebook, Zillow, Boomtown, any of these sources, conversion rates in today's market about 1%. So that means you need 100 leads to work to get one deal. Whereas referred leads, Carl, you're seeing about 22%, right?
Yeah, I would say on referred, and again, we're talking about your past database refers you, a real estate agent, a financial planner refers you. We find that roughly it's about 1 in 4, maybe 1 in 5. And usually how that breaks down is about 2 of them, 2 of the 4, they don't qualify today. They will in some time, but maybe they just went 1099. Maybe they just, something happened. Maybe they got a couple things on their credit report that need to be worked with. Maybe they don't have the down payment yet if they need one. Or maybe the property they picked out isn't quite right, or maybe they end up paying cash for it, or maybe they shop you. But usually about 2 of them, something's wrong with them or something's wrong with the property, at least today. And then of the 2 that's left, one ends up not buying, one ends up having their nephew that's a loan officer or whatever, something they pay cash, whatever, something happens. And so usually about 1 out of 4. So in comparison, we're finding that the SEO, whether it's through ChatGPT, Gemini, one of these other AIs, or Google, we're finding we just did a study and they were converting between 15 and 17%. Now you might think, well, that doesn't sound wonderful. That's not that far off a referred lead. And it's light years above, the standard Facebook and Zillow. And again, I'm not saying not to do the Facebook and Zillow. I'm not saying that at all. But you have to have 100 leads to close one versus 5 or 7. So again, I believe in doing a lot of different things, but you have to put it in perspective. How much extra work, how much work do we have to do per closed loan? And for me, I'd much rather talk to 5 or 7 people to close a loan versus 100. So nothing wrong with 100, but it's not really scalable to a large degree. Whereas 5 and 7, we can close 4 or 5 times more loans because it's 4, 5, 6 times less people. So the inbound search at 15 to 17%, boy, it's right up there with a referred lead. Well, it is referred, Chris. It's referred by either ChatGPT or Google. And by the way, we see some great questions coming in. We've reserved about 15 minutes at the end. So yes, keep the questions coming. We'll absolutely address those. So, all right, Chris.
So well, and actually we were at a live event where one of our customers got up, and I love the way that she said it. She said, look, I work my database once a month. I work my database. I follow the daily success plan. I work my qualified list of real estate agents. But what's happened in my business is I've turned Google into my 3rd referral partner. And Google has more conversations with more qualified borrowers than everybody in the market. And that's all we're really doing is we're turning Google into your referral partner. And now these new AI assistants, they're going to be walking around on people all day long, waiting for that 0 moment of truth to happen. And when you get ahead of this technology, and that means today, moving forward on what I'm going to teach you with AI, that's putting you at the very front edge of this AI wave that's coming.
And Chris, just one more thing. One very interesting thing, which makes no sense whatsoever. A lot of this stuff is not intuitive, but let's say Realtor Dan refers me to loan officer Megan.
Yep.
Right. And I've been working with Realtor Dan for a while. And I trust him, nicest guy in the world. And by the way, Dan is the nicest guy in the world and totally trusting, right? The apple doesn't fall from the tree. His dad's an amazing man. Dan, amazing man also, right? So I totally trust Dan. But yet there's this weird thing that even with a referral from Dan, I've known him from years, I trust him completely, and he refers me Megan, I still go on Google and do a search to see the reviews of her. What other people? Now, in this case, of course, Megan would have a gazillion 5 stars, of course, right? We all know that. But I'm going to go on there and look anyway. So even if the SEO isn't what led me to Megan, people are going to check you out. They're also going to check you out when you write a letter of pre-approval and the listing agent is looking at their 3 contracts that came in with the letters of approval. You better believe the agent is going to search up those loan officers to make sure they know where the gas goes, to make sure that thing's going to close, and that's going to lay weight on it. So it's not just a thing of getting leads in, it's also converting even more of those leads that maybe you are getting off of Facebook, maybe that you are getting off of Zillow, that you're getting referred to you from your past database. So it's not just for incoming leads, it's for a higher conversion of those leads that you're getting from the other sources. It's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. And that was really well said, Carl, because it's not just converting the new people that find you on Google. It is those people that are being referred by your database and being referred by your realtor. And that's part of the reason why these leads that are cold, that aren't coming from either of those sources, they just find you on Google and they call you, why the closing ratio is so high is because Google's done the job of pre-selling them before they pick up the phone and they call you. And that's what your ratings and reviews do. They're like little salespeople that are out there selling for you all day long. So this is one of our clients, 192 ratings and reviews. And I'm going to show you and give you best practices for how to build up those ratings and reviews. And it goes to convert all pathways of business, not just business from Google. So how do you get more 5-star Google reviews? And I'm going to make a big statement. You have to be working with technology to help this process, because you have to send the link to the person, get them to click the link and leave the rating and review. If you just say, hey, find me on Google and leave me a 5-star rating and review, there's actually like 9 steps that person has to go through in order to actually leave you that 5-star rating and review. It has to be as simple as getting a text message, clicking a link, typing the review, and hitting submit. You have to have technology up front as part of this process. And any technology that you're interfacing with that's directing your reviews to another platform other than Google, I would reevaluate that process, because you've got to send them to Google first. Now, we discovered a process with one of our clients. He's actually the #1 highest rated mortgage broker in the Great White North of Canada. But he came to us as a consult. We were consulting for him, and he was like, I need more of these 5-star ratings and reviews. And we were able to double the amount of ratings and reviews that he got in his business by changing one simple thing. And it wasn't technology. What it was asking for the review before the deal funded. So he would get people to the process where they submitted their application, and he added a script with his loan processor. And it was, hey, can we agree that when this deal funds, that's worth a 5-star review on Google? That's your little script. Can we agree that when this deal funds, that's worth a 5-star review on Google? When they agree to leave the rating and review ahead of time, then the deal closes. It's not weird when your automation kicks in and asks for the 5-star rating and review afterwards, or whenever you ask for it during that process. And more of those people will do it because they've already committed to doing it. So that simple process change can get you dramatically more ratings and reviews from the deals that you close. Now, the other way to generate a significant amount of reviews in a very short period of time is what we call the database activator. So as part of your monthly calls and text messages and emails that are going out to your database, you add a little PS, or you add to the script in those messages that are going out. And it's, your 5-star rating and review helps us help more families. Would you go on and leave us a 5-star rating and review on our Google Business profile? We sincerely appreciate it. We had a client, less than 300 past customers in his database, had not reached out to the database in almost 2 years. We put together the database activator, reached out to his past customers. In addition, got him on a process where he was calling those past customers to do his regular database marketing, adding that little script. He had 74 5-star ratings and reviews in less than 45 days. If you ask for them, they will give them to you, and it is the most precious online asset that you can get, especially now that artificial intelligence is reading those ratings and reviews on your Google Business profile. So 100% running a campaign to your past customer database to get that influx of ratings and reviews, and it's okay to get a bunch of 5-star reviews in a short period of time. That's totally okay. The third is referral partners. And I absolutely love this strategy because it ties in perfectly with the daily success plan at Mortgage Marketing Animals. So they have a process where you reach out once a week to everybody that's a part of the transaction. So you're going out to both real estate agents, and there's a whole process behind it. But what we do as part of that process is, as we're building relationships with our agent that's referred us, the other agent that's on the other side of the deal, and any of the professionals that are associated with that deal, once the deal closes, we reach out on their Google business profiles and we leave them a 5-star rating and review. Then in our follow-up to that agent of, hey, potentially maybe we should be working together with, that was a fantastic, flawless transaction together, and you're using your scripts to build those relationships, you've already built credit with that person, where it's just that extra little bit of know, like, trust. You left them a 5-star rating and review, and it becomes a whole lot easier to ask that top performing realtor or that realtor partner to say, hey, would you mind coming and leaving me a 5-star review about how your process was? And the reason why that's so important is because people really read the ratings and reviews. There are people that we have customers with, hundreds of ratings and reviews. People will go through and read almost all of them. I mean, if you're making a big purchase on Amazon, you're going to go read those ratings and reviews. So,
yeah. And for sure, Google does. So Google, and for sure, ChatGPT does, and so does Gemini's. They go through the reviews. And I think, the obvious one when we think of referral partners, I know originally I immediately thought of the real estate agents, but understand I can leave a review for the appraiser. I can leave a review for the insurance agent. I can leave a review for the home inspector. And these people are not used to getting reviews like that, certainly from the mortgage person. And again, we're not make stuff up. We just talk about how pleasant it was to work with this individual, that you got the report very quickly. They were responsive to your questions. They were a joy to work with. So don't make something up. So like ever. I'm a karma guy. Don't ever make something up. Just tell the truth about how pleasant it was working with this home inspector, this appraiser, the insurance agent, and of course the agents. And the more reviews you leave, and then call them up and say, hey, I left your review. Would you mind doing the same? Understand, whoever asks the most gets the most. Whoever asks the most gets the most, and whoever gets the most gets the most. In other words, gets the most business, gets the most closings, the most exposure, the most coolness. So you give, ask, and then you'll get. So really good stuff. So yeah. Chris, now that we have these reviews, how do we get Google and AI to become our referral partner that convert almost the same as a referred lead?
Yes, absolutely. So Google just gave search rankings to AI. And this has happened in the last 12 months. So the way that Google used to work is engineers would write algorithms. They would make that algorithm basically the way that they wanted it, and that determined what the front page of search looked like. And what Google did was they said, okay, now we're going to let AI look at the experience that people have on Google, and we're going to let AI change the front page of search and how the front page of Google is laid out. And as soon as that happened, I've been blessed enough to be working in the mortgage industry for about 15 years. So I've seen every major iteration of Google going from not even being local to having the 7-pack of businesses to the 3-pack of business, all these updates. We've been through them all, and we have figured out how to get our clients ranked on the front every time there's one of these massive disruptions. Because a disruption happens, it shakes up who's in the rankings, and then there's new kings and queens that are essentially at the top of the new change, and then they're kind of stuck there in the best way possible. Like, you want to be stuck at the top of Google, but it's almost like it cements after the shakeup, and it's really difficult to bump those people out. And our job is, when a major change happens, to figure out how to get our clients stuck in that advantageous position. So when this change happened, I dropped everything and just went headlong into what is the artificial intelligence looking at, and how do we get ranked? So the first thing that you'll notice when you go do a Google search, and this is a little bit small, especially if you're on your phone. So we've done a search here for Memphis mortgage lender. If I was to ask you, what's the number one thing that you see at the top of every Google search? You're probably going to say ads, because that's the way that it was for almost ever when the programmers were writing the algorithm, because the programmers are incentivized to sell advertising, because that's how Google makes their money. Well, as soon as they allowed AI to determine how the front page should look, AI just looked at all the data and said, hey, over 80% of people skip over the ads and click on the organic search results anyways. Why have ads? So the AI has completely gotten rid of the advertisements at the top of the search. And the other thing that was exceptional is we were finally able to see behind the screens of what keywords were actually producing customers. Because Google Analytics can see what people type into the search engine, how long they are on the front page for before they click a website to go visit, and then they get to see, did they fill out a form? Did they call the phone number? What was the conversion pathway? So Google actually knows from the data what converts into customers. So on the left-hand side, I have Memphis Mortgage Lender. And you can see at the top, there's the map placement. And there are 3 businesses with their phone numbers highlighted with their 5-star ratings and reviews. But when I change the search phrase from mortgage lender to mortgage calculator, what happens? There's an ad that shows up at the top, and then there's a Forbes article and some other articles about mortgage rates. Why is there no map? Because even though mortgage calculator is the most searched mortgage search phrase in the mortgage industry, which means most people that are paying for pay-per-click are dumping boatloads and boatloads of money at 14 cents a click, or sorry, $14 a click to get somebody to click to their website. These are people that are in research mode. Remember we talked about the 0 moment of truth? These people are not yet ready to pick up the phone and talk to somebody or submit a mortgage application. And the AI knows that. So it's not showing the map placement because people that search for mortgage calculator aren't ready to pick up the phone and talk to a mortgage lender yet. But when you talk mortgage lender, mortgage broker, best mortgage broker, how to submit an application, when you have true purchase intent behind your search, Google shows the map placement with the 3 businesses at the top. And there's another little secret that we discovered by reverse engineering how the front page changed when AI took over. It started showing this little section. So when I do this search for mortgage lender, you can see there's 1, 2, 3 websites down here. So Wallet Hub and Zillow, the top 2. And then there's this people also ask section. And what we discovered is that Google is actually very hungry to solve the questions of people in a local marketplace. So whenever you do a search for mortgage lender in your local marketplace, there's this people also ask section that comes up. These are actually the most searched phrases on Google in your local market. It's different in every single market. So the AI is literally giving you the most valuable questions for you to answer in your content, in your social media, in your search, and what information to give the AI so that the artificial intelligence sees you as the expert in your local marketplace so that you can be showcased to all of the customers in the local marketplace. And when you click on these, they expand. It is almost an endless list of high valuable questions that you can answer in your content to build authority and rank you on the front page. The other thing that you will notice is on your Google business profile, there's now a questions and answers section. What the AI really wants is for you to take the most frequently asked questions that happen in your marketplace and provide the answers on your blog, on your website, and in your Google business profile so that it has the answers to share with the customers.
And so Chris, what you're saying then is to help us rank on SEO, if we just simply go to the questions that Google says, here's what the customer is asking, and then I do a video, I do an email, I do a blog post, I teach a class. These are my PowerPoints. Each one of these is what I'm talking about. Called Google said, this is what people are asking. This is what we want answers for. And when you're the one that answers that in your area, Google will point you as the dominant expert because you're answering the exact questions that Google says, please give us these answers so we can point customers to the answer to these questions that they're asking, a la search engine optimization.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's like a
stuff,
fast track to getting the best quality customers in your local marketplace.
Yeah. So you want to know what to talk to your people about? Those
That's
questions. So, and by the way, the questions this is off of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm in Palm Harbor, Florida. If I go to Google on my area, it's a different set of questions. Obviously, there's going to be some overlap here, but it's a different set of questions. And by the way, which one do you answer first? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the first one first, because it said that's the most important. And then the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one. There is endless amounts of, like, what do I post on my social media? This is what you post on your social media. What do I send out on the email? That. So good stuff. Now show the little, I'll let you take, man, this
Guys,
is,
real quick question on that.
go ahead, Dan.
I think that's really smart to do so to have better SEO there. But how does it kind of rank with? Can't people pay to get indexed higher up in addition to this?
So if you go back to how AI has changed the front page of search, the most valuable key phrases no longer have advertising at the top.
Gotcha.
So you have to earn the right to get these customers from Google. You can pay a lot of money to go get unrelevant, lower quality leads that are further out on the buying cycle, nurture them from 9 months and get those customers, or you can win it organically and get phone calls from people that are like, I'd like to submit a mortgage application because I read some great reviews online.
Gotcha. So that you have to earn the top spot there. If you pay a lot of money, you could be below in like a higher ranking or something like that. But to get up there, you got to be answering those questions of what people are looking for and asking.
That's right.
That's exactly it. And just to answer Sean's question, Sean's saying, wait, how did we get to those questions? When you go back one more slide, Chris, I know we're up on time here a little bit. So when you typed in, like in this case, Memphis mortgage lender, you see the top part of it is, here's the 3 people which is not paid ads, by the way, which I might say, the top one there in Memphis, which is no small town, is actually a client of ours. So just a shameless plug there. But if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, people also ask, that's your questions. And when you click on that little down arrow of any of those questions, go to the next, it has even more questions. It's an endless source of what do I talk about. And this is what you do. Number one, it's what people are asking. And number two, oh, by the way, it's going to help you on your SEO rankings. Called Google is literally looking for the answer to these things. All right, go ahead, Chris.
How do you effectively answer those questions, like on your website, for instance? Like, what is the preferred format of doing so? And if you do it on your social, is that linked somehow with your website? Like, you know what I mean? What's the best plan of attack to effectively answer those so you earn those higher spots through AI?
Dan, that's a phenomenal question. So what I did was I'm giving away the prompts that our internal team uses in order to create this content. So we have 10 prompts that we take it through. So it's like, here's the question. And we say, we're going to do this in stages through a series of prompts.
So and just to clarify, this is, we're logging on to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, and we insert in this prompt for each one of those questions. And Dan, we can say, give me, so this is just one of the prompts. This is for a blog post. It'll write you a blog post. Now, on that question, optimizing for SEO because the prompt tells it to. And then we can put on there, write me a video script answering this question. Now do a video script. Where do I put that? I'm going to email that. I'll also put that on my blog. I'll also put that on my social media. Understand that, like, when you're doing this stuff, you want to do what's called the octopus method. And what the octopus method means is you've got an octopus has 8 different arms that's feeding one body, right? And so my blog is one of the arms feeding it. My emails is one of them. My video is one of them. My video via my emails is one of them. My video via my social media is one of them. My blog post in itself is one of them. My blog post, I put a link on my social media, is one of them. It's like you just bombard your market with the answer to these questions, which really is simple copy, paste, and click, because using the prompts, AI using the current Google algorithms, which it knows, right, will then write the script for your video. It'll then write your social media post. It'll then write your email. It'll then write your blog post. Like, literally a click of the button. And this is even using the free version of ChatGPT. So, so we've got like 10 different prompts, and just because of time, if you just hold up this to your cell phone to this, you'll be able to download those 10 QR codes. And you know what, Chris, can we? A lot of people are asking for the PowerPoint. Is there a way that once they do this, can we reach out afterwards and push them the PowerPoint? Would that? Is that what? So it's all right. So when you do the prompt, we'll give you the PowerPoint. I didn't even think about uploading that to that same place, but you'll get the prompts, and then with your permission, we'll either email or we'll text you a copy where you can get the get the PowerPoint too. And by the way, if you happen to be watching this on a smart device, just go to crmgiveaway.com/MBS. So
I did put the link
CRM.
in the chat box as well. So if you're on
Perfect.
your mobile device, you'll be able to click there.
Yeah. You know, that's the one thing, Dan, that you can't do yet. If I'm on a mobile device and I got a QR code on my screen,
Yeah.
you can't click on it yet. So, Chris, why don't you contact the people over at iPhone? I know they're all personal friends of yours on your speed dial, and tell them to fix that. So anyway, feel free, go in there and grab that, and we'll give you the PowerPoint, and we'll give you the prompts to copy and paste this, even using the free version. So
And I have a quick
I think today you
question.
might be able to save it to your camera roll and then do it that way, and then click on it. I'm pretty sure you can.
We'll put the link also in the write-up for you guys as well. In the email that you will get, you'll get these links as well. But I did have a quick question. So Carl, you did mention that these prompts will work on the free 3.5 version. There was a
Yeah.
lot of chatter in the beginning of this webinar about, the different versions of ChatGPT. Does the 3.5 version, is it able to, search the web, or is it outdated and pulling information from 2022? Can you guys address that a little bit?
Yes.
You know, just for me, real quick, and I might have a different view than Chris. For me, look, I got this saying: write small checks to cash big checks. Write small checks to cash big checks. The paid version is what is it, $20?
Yep.
It moves you to the front of the line, and it is better. It's without question better, because I can go to, if I go to the free version of GPT and say, who's the best mortgage lender, it'll just tell me, well, the things you want to look for in a mortgage lender is make sure they're trustworthy, and make sure they got good reviews, and make sure this and make sure that, but it won't actually give me a name. Where if I do the paid version, it'll say, hey, you need to call Megan Anderson. She is the top dog. No actual dog involved here, of course, but she's a top, loan officer in that area. I would give her a call. So with the paid version, it'll actually give you names. It is way better. It's way, way, way better. And for $20 a month, it'll save you so much time. And once you start using the paid version of it, you will not use Google again. I'm just telling you. Once you get used to it, going on Google and having to do all the ChatGPT does the research for you. And somebody was asking, well, wait a minute, won't a paid sponsor take the place of that? It might some point, but right now, all ChatGPT is doing is going on Bing and just analyzing all the results off of Bing, and then Gemini is going on Google and just analyzing all the results on Google. And so I would definitely recommend it. Look, if you want to make a cake, if you're a baker and you want to make cakes, you got to buy flour. If you're selling shoes, you got to buy leather. Like if you're in the mortgage business, you got to buy MBS, you got to buy tools, right? Otherwise this is not good places to save $5 or $10 or $20. In my world, we call anything under like $50 is free. And that if I'm spending an hour researching a free way instead of just writing a check for $20, not a good use of my time. I'm just the way I look at it. Anything different on your end, Chris?
No, absolutely. It's the best $20 you can spend in a month to get access to it. And we'll move real quick because I got 3 more tips for AI, and then we will open it up for some Q&A. But when we discovered how the AI was changing, we got a really good indicator of what quality signals it was looking for, and we started feeding them in. So I actually created a fake mortgage business to test all of my strategies on. And it was this profile right here that's ranked number 1 I got it ranked number 1 in less than 60 days in my hometown. Now, my dad has his mortgage license, so we have a mortgage license attached to it, but there was no Google business profile, there was no website, there was no online footprint, nothing. Just my dad, who's semi-retired in the mortgage business, which is awesome. So we ranked number 1 in less than 60 days in our local marketplace. Then Carl and I did a podcast, and we had some people come in on a beta. One of the very first people that signed up for that beta went from number 47 on Google to number 1 in Glendale, Arizona. We have ranked number 1 in Tampa, Florida. We have ranked number 1 in Memphis, Tennessee, and other major marketplaces. And it is my intention to rank in every single major city across America and help loan officers get these customers. Because we know when we rank, we're also feeding the same signals that we need to inside the GPTs, so that you rank inside the GPTs for ChatGPT and Gemini. So there's 3 things where we've been going through this process with our customers where we see them make mistakes. And I don't want you to make those mistakes, so I wanted you to have this information before we go. The first is, if you're searching on your device and you search for mortgage lender and you show up on the front page on your computer at your office or on your phone, and you're like, why isn't my phone ringing? It's because you don't actually rank. There's a tool out there called Local Falcon. And what you do is you put in the keyword and then you put in your business and it will show you where you actually rank. So if you've got this little 1, like, the AI is so smart, it knows who you are. It knows when you do a Google search, you want to see your own website, right? so it's gonna show it. This tool allows you to see where you actually have rankings. So this is one of our clients. This is what it looks like when they start out. And this is what it looks like when we're done the optimization, because we make you a local authority in your local marketplace. And all these little green dots are people that are ranked in the number 1 position, whereas the 20 plus means like you're on page 3, which is, you know, I won't tell my Google joke for the interest of time. So number 1, use Local Falcon to actually find out if you're ranking, and then you have to build local authority in your local market, which is getting links from other qualified realtors, other businesses, making sure that you're sponsoring local events and that they go on their website, they put a backlink to your website. It's all about being local. Next is ChatGPT is almost owned by Microsoft. And they made an announcement that Bing is running on GPT-4, which we have customized for search. You absolutely must have a Bing business profile. And on that Bing business profile, you need to have it ranked and connected to all of the same places that your Google business profile is linked to. This is part of how we're moving up in GPT searches at the same time that we're moving up on Google. So you
Chris,
absolutely
just to
have to be
clarify on that, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive my ignorance on this question. So earning your spot on the AI top search part of Google, right, is one thing. And we went over how you can do that. But in the very beginning, you talked about how these wearables are really taking charge, right? So let's say I have the Humane pin and I'm asking a question on who I should use for my mortgage. That's not necessarily using the Google, but because it's using AI, is it, if you do that stuff on Bing, will that then help you with answers to that question and being found? Or how does that work exactly? Or what is that using to search?
Okay, phenomenal question.
Okay.
And just so that you all know, Dan did not see this presentation ahead of time, but he is asking like the perfect questions for how this goes, because OpenAI finished the internet. They scraped the whole thing. There's actually a little bit of a lawsuit happening between them and Google because they were so hungry for data. They built a tool that transcribed every single YouTube video, and then they took every single YouTube video and put it into the OpenAI platform. It has literally learned from the entire internet. I've wanted to finish the internet my whole life, and they beat me to it. So, but literally, so they've come out with this press release that says, we need more data. Where is it getting that data from? The actual interactions that people are doing with AI. So that QR code that I gave Dan of trying to get everybody here to work with AI every single day, if you're telling the AI, you know, my name is Dan Habib, I'm the best mortgage lender in Tampa, Florida, and I want to create a blog piece of content that answers the #1 question with you, you're feeding the fact that you're the number one mortgage lender in Tampa into the AI, and through your conversations with the AI, you're teaching it what you want to output the back end. The loan officer that interacts the most with the GPT is the loan officer that wins, because you're the one that's given the most data. And that is what the AI is looking for. The most data
Dan,
wins.
nobody else is doing this. I promise you. Nobody is going into ChatGPT because it sounds weird, right? So I turn on my ChatGPT, which mine's Hermie. Hey, Hermie, this is Carl White, and I'm the best branch manager in the United States. I'm amazing at what I do. Like, it feels weird to do that, but literally, that's a strategy that you want to be doing. Like, look, don't do it when everybody's around.
Yeah, you gotta talk yourself up to
yeah. Step outside and introduce yourself, and tell him or her or it, a little bit about you and why you're trustworthy, and how you help people, and read your testimonials to it. Like, you want to interact with it. So, all right.
100%. And Carl, what that means is that getting ranked used to be a step-by-step process. Like, as a search engine optimization company that I've run for over a decade, there used to be a ClickUp board that I could give my staff members, and if they checked every single thing on that board, we would move up in the rankings and we would rank. It was just a step-by-step process. Now, it is a 100% unique experience. If you're working with a traditional SEO company, this is something that you need to be aware of, because you need to be taking AI, putting AI first in creating all of the content and everything. So 3 major takeaways. You have to take action on AI right now. This is not a trend. This is not a blip. It's not a blurb. This is fundamental to our society moving forward. 5 years from today, if you've slept on this, it's going to be like looking back and being like, I had the chance to buy Tesla stock at $8 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, in retrospect, we're at this moment where you can pivot from this point in the future to, I made a decision or I didn't make a decision, and tie it back to, like, I had the knowledge, did I take the action? Inbound leads from Google and AI are the highest quality leads available. So if you're buying leads, if you're paying for Facebook ads, trying to generate those leads, and you're frustrated with quality, you're frustrated with process, this is where you pivot to, because yes, you will generate less leads, but you will potentially close more with far less effort. And then rankings and reviews convert more of your referred leads. So this isn't just a strategy to go get customers from AI and Google. It's also how to close more of the referrals you get from your database, and how to close more of the referrals that you get from realtors. And I know we have just a couple of moments here. I would love to hang out and do Q&A, even though we are going to go over time. But Carl, I'm not sure what your schedule looks like, but I'm happy to do that. So very quickly, can I show you the guaranteed way to get results? This is our super duper high pressure.
This is our high pressure sales pitch here for like 2 minutes, or even, I think we timed it. It's 47 seconds, and then we're going to go into the question and answer.
Yeah. So my team will get you ranked in the 3-pack on Google. We guarantee that you will be there within 12 months and generating inbound phone calls. So we guarantee that you will get the calls from the ranking, or you don't pay. I will work for you for free after that 12 months in order to get you ranked. If you're not, I 100% guarantee it. The problem is that we can only work with 2 clients per market. And that is because there's only 3 spots in the map placement, and we can only rank 2. Our strategy won't work for 3. It will only work for 2 of them. So we're bound by the market. So if you would like to move to the front of the line, this QR code and this website, so loansbyranking.com. So you can go to www.loansbyranking.com. The program is $2,000 a month. It's $24,000 for the year to be guaranteed on the front page of Google search. And we will actually launch your database activator for you. So we will reach out to your past customer database for you to build your ratings and reviews, to get you that initial bump, and to help get you ranked not only on Google in the search placement, but also with AI. And again, if it comes to the end of 12 months and we haven't, we will continue to work for you for free until we do. No long-term contract to sign. It's like, we're here to get you results. And that's the whole reason why we're doing this. So you can scan the QR code, put down your $2,000 deposit. That gets you to the front of the line on a call with our team where we have a strategy call with you. And what that does is, can we actually help you? Can we actually get you ranked? Is this a good investment for you at this point in your career? Because we're with the mortgage marketing animals, so we know about the DSP, we know about the realtors. If you're trying to go chase a shiny object when you should be focused on the fundamentals, or we can't help you, we will tell you that. We will give you your $2,000 back and help guide you in the right direction. So either way, there's massive value on the call. But if you want to secure your market and know, hey, I'm one of the 2 people in the marketplace, go to loansbyranking.com or scan the QR code, put down the $2,000. If it's not a good fit, we give you 100% of your money back, but you've moved yourself to the front of the line. So that's the offer.
All right, Chris, just real quick, some rapid fires. And Dan, boy, we appreciate the time. It's an honor to be here. It really is. Megan, you're such a wonderful host. We really appreciate you and what you bring to the industry. So y'all tell us when we need to get out of here. I know we're a little bit over time. Chris, just real quick, I'll rapid fire you some. This comes from Craig. Isn't ChatGPT's info from a couple years ago? Question mark.
So the answer is no. So even if you're using GPT 3.5, they have increased that limit. And then there is also plugins where you can plug in and get it to do Google searches in real time. So that even though that was when it first came out, that's no longer relevant.
All right, real good. Hey, I understand that AI, some of the different search engines, they might have a bias in one direction or the other. Any comments on that?
Absolutely, they do. Yeah, 100%. There is bias built into AI, and different AIs have different bias. That doesn't affect us as mortgage lenders, because what we're doing is we're training the AI to be biased that we are the best mortgage lender in a local marketplace. But Carl, have you ever tried to change somebody's mind once they've made it up?
Yeah, you're not going to change my mind often.
I think AI is going to be similar.
Yeah.
And if we get in while it's at this infancy stage and we teach it that a specific mortgage lender in a specific market is the best to refer, I think it's going to be super difficult to get the AI to change its mind in the future.
Hey, Chris, somebody's saying, well, what about, I've got Rocket Mortgage, or insert in any awesome, right? All awesome companies, right? Rocket Mortgage, Cross Country, some of these bigger companies, they're in my area. Can I outrank them?
Yes, 100%. It's, a year and a half ago, massive benefit. In today's marketplace, we're almost seeing favoritism towards the smaller brands in the local marketplace, especially when we get into that local content that we shared.
That's what we're seeing too.
Guys, just for the benefit of our subscribers, very little drop off. So everybody's very keen and interested in this, right? If I were to just try to summarize this in like a minute or two here, and then go a little bit deeper on your guys' offer, right? So it sounds like most people are marketing on social and not as much on SEO. And it's much more important to do so because your conversion's like a little under 400% more on that, right? So
yes,
it seems like now with AI really kind of changing the game on search, you really need to be on Google, but also on Bing, answering these questions that people are searching for, right? And it seems like you guys have figured out a very easy way to do so with the prompts, where you can use ChatGPT, even the free version, it sounds like, but spend $20 for the full one. It's worth every cent. It'll automatically create all these different things that you need, right? And also, it's going to give you those people up top if somebody, based on AI's interpretation, is actually looking to do something right away, not just researching, right? So it sounds like with your guys' offering here, it sounds like $2,000 could be a lot of money, right? But based on like average loan sizes, I mean, if you are able to rank them and help them in the top one, I mean, it sounds like you're going to get multiples of that with the people that you have as customers that have ranked number one. Any idea on what you could expect as far as how much business they're getting from achieving that with your guys' help? And also, Are you kind of helping as a part of this with all of those different factors that you guys discussed as far as things we should be doing? And then obviously the last one I forgot is you also need to be talking to AI about yourself, right? Because that'll help with the search, right? So did I cover, I think, a decent amount of it for understanding?
100%, Dan. That was, we should have had you start the webinar. So from a results basis, It's tied somewhat to the local marketplace that you're in and how many people are in that
Right,
local
that makes
marketplace. Almost every customer comes back to us and says, I'm getting people that are referred to me that are finding me on Google and complimenting me on my ratings and reviews. It's absolutely helping in that aspect. We have a client of ours, Mike. He's in a town in Texas. They've got about 100,000 people. That's good for about 2 to 3, on a good month in today's market conditions, applications that come into his business. So he's funding 1 to 2 deals a month, just kind of like clockwork, with an addressable market of 100,000 people. Take Memphis or Tampa. Obviously, it's more than that, but I don't think the majority of our listeners are going to be in like a major city hub center. It almost works better if you're in like suburbia. You know what I mean? And you've got that like outlying area of a larger city. You're not right smack dab in the core, but it's going to be every market. It's not like there's a market where Google doesn't have 98% of the search traffic right now. It doesn't matter what market you're in, you'll be able to close loans from it.
And what happens if, like, obviously this is early on when you want to jump in, but what happens if this catches on and now you have more than 2 people or so that's trying to achieve this in a market, right? I mean, how does that kind of shake out? Where
Yep. So we have waiting lists right now on particular marketplaces, and if somebody comes in and puts down the $2,000 and the market is already full, we're still going to get on the phone with them. We're still going to consult them for an hour. We're still going to build them a business strategy that will work for them. It's just unfortunately in that position we won't be able to do the done for you for them, but we'll absolutely point them in the right direction.
And of course refund them. So
Yes.
hey, just again, we want to be very respectful for everybody's time. One thing I've learned in my business is COI is the most expensive thing that we'll ever pay. COI. And COI stands, a lot of people think of ROI. COI spanks ROI. COI is a cost of indecision, cost of inactivity. And so what we'll just say in closing, like whatever you do something, right? Do something. Don't wait till things get better. Do something. Here on MBS, with the wonderful gang that you have here, they're always bringing you great value, great things to do. Open the box and do it. These suggestions they're making, these great updates that they give out, that Dan and you and Megan do on a daily basis. Grab that information and do something with it, right? Send it out. So cost of inactivity, cost of indecision, it's robbing all of us of a fortune, myself included. Like all of us are on that scale at some place or other. So, like as the old saying, you need to get help somewhere. Just go do it. Like just start putting this stuff into action. So, hey, Dan, Megan, thanks so much for letting Chris and I coming in here. Sometimes we're a little bit of a bull in the china shop. So you guys are a class act. You make us feel welcome every single time. We really, really, really appreciate it. And we'd love to see you guys join us on the Breakfast Club. You always have such great content. And, I'm just going to tell both of you, I know Barry's very, very, very proud of both of you for the way that you've helped in the business and held up to his standards. And I'm not saying this to be funny. Barry has incredibly high standards, and that you guys are well and above and beyond those standards. I know he couldn't be more proud of you. And Dan is as a son, and Megan is a dear, dear friend. I know he's very proud of you. And not that it matters, but I am too. So good stuff, guys. Thanks so much for letting us hang out with you.
That means a lot. I learned a lot, guys. So and I could tell the subscribers really seem to enjoy it. So thank you guys for all the wonderful insights, and I'll definitely join you on one of those breakfast calls, guys. It'd be my honor.
Yes, looking forward to you guys. Thank you for your time, and everyone here, thank you for joining us. And yes, you will get the recording sent to your email that you registered with. So with that, thank you guys. We'll chat soon.
Thank you, guys.